Welcome to Rise from the Ashes. My name is Shauna Farragon. Today's message is a little bit different than last time, and it's a little bit more difficult for me to talk about. I don't want people from my past thinking that I think negatively of them or have bad feelings towards them, and talking about this could make people think this. So, when I was younger, I was raised going to church. I was raised going to non-denominational Christian churches. At the first church that I attended, some bad things happened, but I was too young to fully know everything that happened at that church. And at the second church that I went to, there were older kids that liked to tease me. That's what they called it, teasing. Even the adults that were around called it teasing, but for me personally, it was more of going through torture. They were relentless in their teasing, and I would have to find places to hide so that I could get away from it. And even when I found places to hide, it didn't mean it went away. There were times that I would go into the bathroom, and they would be standing outside the bathroom door continuing on. And the hardest part was that they were teasing me because I was crying, and I couldn't stop crying. I've grown up since then. I've made a lot of choices because of the way that this went down. I have not had a lot of friends that continued to be my friends for life. I didn't really want to get too attached to anyone because I knew that they would probably disappear, and then when I did get attached to people in my life, they have disappeared. I chose to ignore the people around me that were teasing me or tormenting me as I grew up, and I got into a group of people that accepted me, or at least I felt like they accepted me. This is how I got into drugs. I was around a group of people that I felt accepted me, and we started smoking weed together. And it led to other things down the road. But it was my main reason for getting into drugs was looking for that acceptance. And to get away from the people that never liked me, the people who would tease me and torment me, and it was easier to numb myself to the world by using drugs than it was to try to face the people that I felt like didn't like me. So throughout the years, I would know people, but they wouldn't know who I was. And then when it came time for me to clean up and stop using drugs, I was pregnant at the time, and I knew this was a life change that I had to make so that I would not be in and out of jail while I was pregnant. So I had to stop hanging out with the people who I used with. But as I changed my life, when I did run into those people, they stopped wanting to hang out with me because I was no longer getting high with them. I was no longer living that lifestyle with them. So it took time to get used to, and while I wasn't alone, it definitely felt at times like I had no friends. It was up to me. So I took it on. It was up to me to change my life. It was up to me to take care of this baby that I was bringing into the world, and it was up to me to do it by myself. I did have support from family members, but they didn't know every side of me. They didn't know everything that had happened. They did learn throughout the years. I finally did open up to my parents and tell them a lot of the things that they probably didn't even want to know. But as a parent, you still want to know even though you don't want to know. taking that on put on my shoulders the idea that I needed to be a superhero. I needed to be able to do it all, take it all on, do it all by myself, not look for friendships or people to lean on. I needed to be able to lean on myself and do it all. And I'm learning, I have been learning for years that it is okay to lean on others. But to get to the point where I could truly lean on other people for support and count on them to help me through life's problems and life's issues and everything that life can throw at me, it took going through the steps. It took acknowledging that I had a problem. It took working through the forgiveness, as I talked about in the last episode. Forgiveness is a major part of self-development and self-discovery. You don't know what's lying under the surface until you start to look. And as you start to look, you start to hate yourself for choices you made. You start to hate other people that have had anything to do with your past that hurt. So you have to find that forgiveness and be able to forgive yourself so that you can forgive others. That is something I had to work through, is forgiving the people who did not know what they were doing. Those kids were just kids too. They didn't realize that they were doing something to me that felt like torture. They did not realize that it wasn't just teasing. So I found forgiveness, a way to forgive them for not knowing what they were doing. I also got to find forgiveness for myself for choosing into the drugs, choosing into numbing myself from the world. Once I was able to forgive myself, I was able to start liking myself again, which, as I said, leads to loving myself again, and that leads to trusting myself again. Trusting myself was big. I had to find trust in myself before I could trust other people. And I was still searching for that trust for myself when I met my husband and when he became a part of my life. We were friends for quite a while as I was learning how to trust myself again and trust that I could choose to trust other people. Trust that I could choose good people to trust. I'm really glad I learned how to trust myself, because I don't know where I'd be if I wasn't with my husband today. Trusting him is major. It has its moments of ups and downs because I've been through quite a lot. Going through abusive relationships, some of that stays with me as I moved into the relationship with my husband. And there have been times that he's had to quiet my crazies, is what I call them, where I'm having issues with the trust because I've been in this situation before and the guy was lying to me. How do I trust that? How do I trust that he's telling me the truth? We've worked through a lot of it, to where now we can joke about him cheating on me because it's just a laughable matter. But I know that I can trust him. And with him, I grew a new community of people that he brought with him that I have learned how to trust and like and love these people. When I married my husband, I did more than just marry his family. I married his family. So all of his friends that are family to him are now my friends and my family. And while it's changed throughout the years, different people coming in, different people leaving, it's still a family. It's a unit of people that come together and go on adventures together. We have hangouts where we're doing potluck style barbecues and parties that we get to celebrate while we're watching our kids enjoy the holiday season and enjoy all the birthdays that come and go. And we're able to watch each other as we're growing and as we're changing and as our kids are growing and changing. And I definitely can say that I am blessed. But it took stepping out of, I have to do everything by myself, I can't trust anyone, and stepping into, I can trust other people. I can have the support, and I can trust in the support from other people. I know this one's a little bit shorter this week. If you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. If you have any similarities to what I'm talking about, I'd love to talk to you. Reach out to me. Let me know what's going on in your life. Maybe we can help each other. Maybe I can help you get to that next step that you're needing to take. Because it is still October, it is October 13th today. There is still a retreat happening November 12th to the 15th in southern Utah, and I'd love to see everyone there. If you have any interest in going, please message me so that I can send you the details. It is going to be a retreat filled with healing, along with the steps you need to take this healing into your life and continue to grow and not step back into the same routines that you're doing day after day. All right, I hope you have a blessed week.